Hi again, everybody. Bill Phillips here on a Tuesday, and we are getting ready for the NCAA tournament. We are also getting ready for a big day. It is Sloppy Joe Day. One of those days where you're like, oh, makes you feel like a kid again. Sloppy Joes. Sloppy Joes. April, hello. How are you today? Hopefully all is well. Hopefully everybody's having a day after St. Patrick's Day. Hopefully everybody had a good St. Patrick's Day. One of those days that people tend to find a way to party all weekend long. If it's Friday, Saturday, Monday, Sunday, you just work it out where you get your schedule and you have your party as you go. Now, one of the things people are going to do this month coming up and later tonight, actually, you're going to have some of the preliminary games or playing games, so to speak, for some of those teams that are on the bubble. And it's an opportunity for people to enjoy parties and have about 3 weeks of college basketball. Fans that are not fans that maybe didn't pay attention the entire season, they will watch college basketball with very, very interested in college basketball as they have maybe a block pool. Maybe a wager or two on the men's NCAA basketball tournament or the women's NCAA basketball tournament. And tonight, you have St. Francis of Pennsylvania taking on Alabama State, two teams trying to play their way in as a 16 seed. And that game featuring St. Francis of PA, 16-7, and obviously won their conference championship, in Alabama State, 19-15. They will play in the South region, first four and the other first four game that will be played tonight, it will be North Carolina and San Diego State. North Carolina 22-13, San Diego State 21-9. That game will be played at 9:10. You can catch it on True TV. 6:40 game True TV as well. These are both South regional games. So it'll be interesting. North Carolina and San Diego State. In North Carolina, a blue blood. In North Carolina, in the spotlight, thanks to the governor of West Virginia, Patrick Morrisey. And just one of the things that came out yesterday in the news, and you're the governor of the state of West Virginia. You have an option to do what you want to do. But whether it's West Virginia, whether it's Florida, whether it's California, Montana, pick a state. Sometimes just leave it alone. Just leave it alone. West Virginia, a team that I've covered for a long, long time, a team that I pull for, a team in a university that does great stuff. And like I said, a team that I've covered for a long, long time. I pull for the team. I know students very well that go there, have gone there. And so always hoping that the Mountaineers do well. If you don't get in, sometimes it's because you didn't play well at the absolute wrong time not to play well. And it doesn't have anything to do with the NCAA being corrupt or the athletic director for North Carolina being on the selection committee. Here's the deal. Somebody's going to be on the selection committee. North Carolina blue blood in college basketball. Statement was made about the AD maybe getting $100,000 in a bonus if the team makes the NCAA tournament. I'm sure the athletic director at North Carolina is probably getting paid north of $1 million a year. So a $100,000 bonus is probably nice, like it would be for anybody. But, is that going to really factor into his decision? Now, the thing that happened over the weekend, and then this I thought was beneath the governor's office, was the fact that on a sign at the podium he was speaking at said National Corrupt Athletic Association. Why not have the seal of the great state of West Virginia on the podium? So, I don't have a problem with Patrick Morrissey. I don't have any governor wants to do what they want to do, they can do. But sometimes it's just you lost at the wrong time. And what happened this weekend, West Virginia basically, it had been said so many times, reported so many times that they were going to get into the NCAA tournament. It looked like they were a lock because they had the quad one wins and all of those things. And they did. They had some quad one wins, but they only had 19 overall victories. And one of the things that was expected of WVU and the men's basketball team was that they would win the first game of the Big 12 tournament. They came in a number 8 seed, and you had Colorado a 16 seed. Second half, West Virginia up, I don't know, roughly 10 points with about 7 minutes to go. They blow the lead. They end up losing by what? I think it was 7. I think it was 67-60. They turned the ball over on 7 straight possessions. So it's one of those things where, they lost at the absolute worst time against a team that they should have beat. If you're an NCAA tournament team, you should beat that team. North Carolina, they're the team that many believe got in over West Virginia, the last team in. So they won 2 games in the not the Big East tournament, but the ACC tournament. And then they had Duke beat. I watched the end of that game. They had them beat. Basically, that game was going to go in the win column for North Carolina. They managed to screw it up in the last couple of seconds. But if you're looking at the two teams, how they're going into the tournament, West Virginia, they didn't play well in a game they had to win against a lesser opponent. North Carolina, they played up to their opponent in Duke, almost had the win, won 2 games in the tournament. They get the nod. If just because people say that you were going to go in doesn't mean you're going to go in if you don't take care of business. West Virginia needed to beat Colorado, the 16th seed in the Big 12 tournament. West Virginia, the 8th seed, they win that game. They have 20 wins. They get into the tournament because their next game's against Houston. If they lose, people are going to go, okay, well, it's Houston. They're a number 1 seed, so you don't know what's going to happen. So that all said, does the governor really need to be spending his time worrying about a lawsuit or trying to come up with a lawsuit to say that there was something wrong going on in the selection committee? Now, John Michael checking in. I believe if WVU did better in the Big 12 conference play and defeated Colorado in the conference tournament, they would have gotten in. Absolutely. Absolutely. Good morning. Hello. Hopefully all is well. And Pauline checking in. And that's coming from a WVU graduate. Absolutely. I don't get it, whether it's Patrick Morrissey, the governor of West Virginia, or another governor or another political figure. If a team loses, sometimes you lose. Sometimes you screw up what you had that was a sure thing. And from all accounts, West Virginia, with a win over Colorado, is going to get in the NCAA tournament or make it very difficult for them not to be one of the last teams in. But again, down the stretch, second half, they didn't get the job done. Jackie checking in. Governor should stay out of it. They lost Colorado and other games. I like WVU, but they blew it themselves. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I have nothing against anybody on that team for the Mountaineers. I have nothing against WVU. I do. I have one of my prized possessions. A friend of mine got me a West Virginia baseball hat with the flying W and V, a white hat with the blue letters, and some other paraphernalia that I love wearing around. And so like I said, I have friends that have gone to school there, friends that are in school there now, and it has nothing to do with the basketball team. And if this was any other governor in any state in the union or any state in the United States, I'm saying the same thing. Now, as a Miami guy, we just went through it with the college football playoff. Miami lost 2 games. Technically, their record was better than a number of teams that got into the playoff, but they blew it. They lost the wrong game. If they had beaten Syracuse in the final regular season game and gone to the ACC championship game and lost, they would have gotten into the college football playoff. They were undefeated most of the year. Then they had a loss to Georgia Tech, and then they lost to Syracuse in the final game of the season. They lost, I think it was 2 of their last 3 games or 2 of their last 4. They didn't make it. They blew it. Now the thing is, I didn't think Miami would win the national title because their defense was atrocious, and they gave up 40-something points. I think it was 42-40 was the final score against Syracuse at Syracuse. Syracuse went on and won their bowl game, won over 10 games. So Syracuse is a quality club, but at the time, everybody said, "Oh, they're a terrible team. They're not that good. Miami should be penalized." Well, the governor of the state of Florida didn't get into it, and I didn't complain about it because, like, sometimes you just lose, and you lose at the wrong time. You don't look good doing it, and you don't get to go. So just a little soapbox there from a sports guy that now does news. John Michael, no lead is safe. WVU just couldn't hold on to the lead and secure the victory. That's absolutely right. And then they turned it over 7 straight times. So when you do that, if the selection committee is sitting there and they're going, okay, we've got to pick between West Virginia and North Carolina. All right, well, what happened down the stretch for West Virginia? They had to win this game. They win the game, and they go to the NCAA tournament. They lost to the 16th seed. They were the 8th. They turned it over 7 straight times in the second half. They had a 10-point lead, couldn't hold the victory. They lost. North Carolina wins 2 in a row. They have Duke on the ropes, should have beaten Duke. So who's the better team going into the NCAA tournament? If I described that and just said Team A and Team B, which one are you going to take? Team A has it all on the table. All you got to do is win a game. Win 1 game. Team B, they've got to do a lot. Well, Team A won their game, and Team B won 2 games, and they lost the third one, so they win the championship. So Team A is probably going to go because they won. They did what they had to do, but they didn't. So Team B looks much better going into the tournament. It's as simple as that. It's I don't know. I always find it disappointing when political figures get in on that stuff because it's just, he's the governor of the great state of West Virginia. I'm sure there's other things that he can be occupying his time with. I can name a bunch right here, but I will not do that. But in terms of basketball, just leave it alone. Whether you're the governor of West Virginia, Ohio, Connecticut, Florida, Oklahoma, Texas, wherever. Sometimes it's just your team didn't get the job done and they got left out. And every year we have this. Now, if he was looking to get some publicity, he's getting it from me today. So mission accomplished. But in terms of a lawsuit, they sue the NCAA. Come on, that's just silly. And you need as a governor of, like I said, it's the great state of West Virginia. The governor needs to be doing other stuff than worrying about the WVU basketball team and the selection committee. They didn't get the job done when they had to. It was a bad loss at a bad time. Couldn't have been a worse time. It was as bad as it could get. And North Carolina played pretty well down the stretch. So, anyways. That's that. I'm off my soapbox, but it's just sometimes politics is politics. It's not sports. Sloppy Joe. We talked about that yesterday. Today was Sloppy Joe Day today, but it's also another thing that I didn't realize this. I didn't realize this at all. It is Lacy Oatmeal Cookie Day. Does anybody know about? Okay, what do we have here? All right. Put it up. Brian? Robert's really putting in the miles covering local high school sports. Absolutely is. Starting to worry about the tires, gas mileage. Brian, he's been all over the place. He's going to need a rest. He's going to need a weekend. He's going to need a weekend to rest. He's just going to need to put the feet up. But, Rob and Jack all over the place. Both have been all over covering the high school sports. So it's good to see. And Brian, a big Monroe Central fan. And what a great fall and winter season they've had. So we've got that going on. Anybody out there have their Final Four picked, or who do you think is going to win the national championship for college basketball? The men's and women's tournaments all getting started. And we'll talk about that on Thursday on the News 9 Sports on the Go at 7 o'clock from Seven Ranges at the Ford Steuben Mall in Steubenville. I'll be there along with Don Sloan, the Nacho Man. We'll talk college basketball and much, much more. So we have that going on as well. One of the other things we have the Valley Converting, and Valley Converting, a great sponsor indeed. And we can't thank them enough for helping us with all of our paper products.
Every piece of paper has a story. What if that story didn't end when you were done with it?
At Valley Converting, we turn your old paper products into recycled paperboard, continuing the story.
Locally owned and operated in Toronto, Ohio, bringing your paper to Valley Converting isn't just about recycling.
It's about supporting a cleaner, greener future for all of us.
We are here 5 days a week to help you make some green by going green.
And remember,
recycle for your future.
I want to thank Mike Biasi and his crew up in T-Town, over in T-Town, down in town, T-Town, wherever you're coming from. It is the Gem City. It's Toronto, Ohio, and that's the home of Valley Converting. We can't thank them enough for all that they do for the 9-minute Phill-Up. So anyways, Sloppy Joe Day today. But the thing is, I didn't realize this until today. I happened to see it, and I just think, I don't know if it really goes with a Sloppy Joe, but it sounds pretty good. Now, I don't know where you get these. I don't know how to make them. But, Oatmeal Cookie Day, I think, is April 30th. I might have the date wrong on that, but I think it's April 30th, Oatmeal Cookie Day. But today is another form of Oatmeal Cookie Day. It's called Lacy Oatmeal Cookie. So I don't know if anybody's out there knows about the Lacy Oatmeal Cookie, but from what it described it as was a thin, very thin oatmeal cookie, super thin, and you serve it with a little bit of maybe vanilla ice cream. After Sloppy Joe. Yep. That might be a bit too bougie after Sloppy Joe. Sloppy Joe's just one you got to get after. Those are just Sloppy Joe's a fun sandwich. It can be a messy sandwich, but fun sandwich. But that was a staple in the the Farmington, Connecticut elementary, junior high, and high school cafeteria lunch service, if I recall. Brian checking in. I love Sloppy Joes with French fries. Brian, I can't argue. I have nothing to argue with that statement. I think that's just a perfectly outstanding statement. It just makes perfect sense. French fries with Sloppy Joe. Now I haven't had a soda in quite some time. Oh, there you go. Absolutely. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Now you wash it down with a Coke or maybe refresh. I'll tell you what, Sloppy Joe today, and it looks like it should be a nice day. But the Lacy Oatmeal Cookie, I don't know what you guys are thinking about that. It might be just a little too bougie. I don't know. But if someone put it on a plate with a little ice cream afterwards, sounds pretty good. So, anyways, we've got to run. Ronna reminds you that we'll be back here again tomorrow at 10 a.m. A little bit of a late start today. I apologize for that. We'll have some NCAA basketball scores to talk about as the tournament begins. But also coming up, as I mentioned on Thursday, it is News 9 Sports on the Go. Make sure you join me and Don Sloan. If you can't come out to Steubenville's Fort Steuben Mall, Seven Ranges Entertainment, great place, great food, a lot of games, a lot of fun. Bring the kids, bring your sports garb, whatever your favorite team is, if you want to do that. And so it's a lot of fun out at Seven Ranges Entertainment. We'll have some fun talking about everything on News 9 Sports on the Go. That's coming up Thursday at 7 o'clock. You can catch it live on the WTOV 9 YouTube channel. At 9 o'clock, you can catch it on the Facebook, WTOV 9 Facebook streaming situation we have there at 9 o'clock. And then after that, you can catch them anytime. So anyways, thank you. I can't thank everybody enough for joining us, for comments. Greatly appreciate it. Greatly appreciate your time, and can't thank Valley Converting enough once again for all of their help. Remember the two rules, everybody. Have fun and always try your best. We'll talk to you tomorrow.